It's Week 10 of the National Football League. Coming up, we'll see Carson Wentz. He got his reps in last week, finishing with over 300 passing yards. It's the Commanders and the Eagles under the lights on Monday night.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Tonight we polish off Week 10 with a good Monday night matchup between the Washington Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they enter play here. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
But meanwhile, for the visiting Commanders, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And if you look back to last week, it was all about their defense. Anytime you hold an NFL team to single digits, that's saying something.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded just outside the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Commanders trot to the field for their first possession, and it's the 7th-year quarterback out of North Dakota State leading the way. His 3rd NFL team, Carson Wentz.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, Accentuate the Positive. That's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air. Receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
Wentz first play going right to the air. Blitz coming and down he goes. Hassan Reddick, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though. And they could barely get a glove on him before he got the quarterback on the ground.
Slings this deep from McLaurin. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. I tell you, when Carson Wentz can really step into one and get that 6'5" frame behind it, he can really launch it.
And we knew that they'd try to attack the secondary, but I'm not sure that we thought they'd do it right on the first drive of the game. But here they saw an opportunity, seized it.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Give the sack to Fletcher Cox. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Escaping the pressure right. And he wisely will throw that one away. Now, this defense for the Eagles, they were fantastic a week ago when they went over Houston.
Yeah, they held them to well under 200 yards of total offense, and in today's NFL, that's a feat to be...
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. Remember, Charles, this is the #1 defense in the NFL, and they prove their mettle here, forcing the turnover on the opening possession.
And sometimes when you play a team that has that reputation, it's earned it by their play. The psychology is, okay, they're #1. They have to prove it to us, and they tried to attack. They found out that that ranking was real.
And if history is any indication, when this defense gets off to a good start, look out.
Yeah, their offense plays off of them awfully well, too.
watching the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down. These two teams, you might recall, met up back in September in Week 3. And it was the Eagles who got the win on the road, so now they look to finish off the sweep here in Philly. 2nd down, back to Sanders. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. Hurts sets up to throw it. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle 1st down. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
And we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got us a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Another run here with Sanders. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Cole Holcomb, and the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Hassan Reddick, his 2nd sack of the night.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
Got a man. It's De'Ami Brown, complete. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of the first as that leads to 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This officially a 55-yard attempt, and he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And the Commanders get out to a 3-0 lead. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach turned his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Now 2nd quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it 2nd and 7. An option handoff given to Sanders. And only a couple there up to about the 23-yard line. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Jonathan Allen, the former first-round pick, getting in there to bring him down. Here's Aaron Sipos out now to punt on 4th down. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. So here is Washington now to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak and right now looking good in this one as well. Wentz bringing the Commanders out for 1st and 10 at their 38. Now a 1,000-yard rusher a season ago, Antonio Gibson with it. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Shotgun now for Wentz. Over the middle, brought in by Dotson. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Here's Wentz to throw. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked up by Kaiser White. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And down by a field goal, they'll take over with excellent field position following the interception. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. Flushed out right. And Pascal's got it. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A field goal helps, but a touchdown gets you the lead. That had to be the message transmitted in the huddle. And they delivered there as that throw is going to keep the drive alive. And even better than that, set them up with a 1st and goal.
And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. 2nd and goal from the 1. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Jalen Hurts, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Eagles have taken the lead. And maybe there that was just a case of completely overlooking the guy holding the football.
It certainly felt like it, didn't it? Because on my checklist, okay, as a defender,
QB's last.
Running back, fullback, heck, jet sweeps nowadays. Before you even get to thinking about the quarterback might actually keep it.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Once more, Gibson. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Dances by him, and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson, his third rushing touchdown on the year. And the Commanders have regained the lead. They erased that deficit pretty quickly, did they not? A two-play drive.
What do we call that? Short-lived?
Very.
Very short-lived. 2 plays later, they're in the end zone and back out in front. We always talk about drives, don't we? Does 2 plays count as a drive?
Not really, but that second play was so good. I don't care what we call it. It was enjoyable to watch. Joey Sly on for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to get this out to the 25. And out now come the Eagles. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least 1 home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Still 9 remaining on second down. From the gun, it's Hurts. On the slant, he's got Sanders. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. Hurts. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down. Well, the incompletion, but now we also have an injured player. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Hurts. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Eagles. A.J. Brown, 62 yards. As his guys have now moved out in front. Pretty good response. They had given up the touchdown and the lead, but they struck back.
And I love the way that they just saw it happen, took a quick exhale on the sidelines. So let's go get it back and fast. Let's go ahead and throw the ball downfield and get our own 6 points.
A huge chunk play to regain that lead. Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead is now 14-10. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's capped off by an A.J. Brown touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Wentz. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Wentz's throw into the hands of McLaurin. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Wentz now on first down. And he takes a shot on the release, as this will be incomplete. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. On play action, Wentz. This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. offense again. Oh, it's a screen pass. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We begin with something never said before in NFL history. Let's start out in Germany. That's right, Munich, the site for the early tilt between Seattle and Tampa Bay, where it was the host Buccaneers who were able to come away with that victory. Tom Brady, excellent in the victory, as it's one that pushes his guys 2 games above 500. From there, let's head west to see what's going on with the Raiders at home in Las Vegas. And they fall in that one to the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Matt Ryan, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Baker Mayfield leading the way there as the win gets his guys back to 500 on the year. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Washington. And they weren't able to get a whole lot done throwing the football. That'll likely be a big key if they want to turn things around in the second half. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. So here are the Eagles to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Second half will start with a run by Sanders. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And this heads straight to the sideline. I don't think they're going to let him get away with that. Nope, they won't. Here comes the flag. Yeah, he hadn't gotten far enough away from the pocket to throw that football away, and that draws the flag.
Yeah, the old tackle box, right? Get outside of each tackle, and then you can go ahead and throw it away, and you're in good shape. But if you're back there in the pocket, you got to make sure of what you're doing.
Got to be careful here, backed up this deep on 3rd down. He's going deep for Brown, and it's knocked away and incomplete. The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. Now a fair catch taken, maybe a yard or two shy of midfield. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. To throw, it's Wentz. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Wentz is intercepted yet again. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
Well, NFL quarterbacks have learned the hard way. You're not going to get rich throwing against this guy. He's definitely too good. And this is now his second interception of the ball game. And if I'm running the offense, I've got to tell my guys, you've got to go work on the other corner.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Hurts finding Smith for the Philly first. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing is Hurts. This is Smith with the ground. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 43. A good pickup there at 22. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. He'll look to throw. Going deep here for Watkins. But he's got it inside the 10. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. The quick slant caught. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. They'll look to throw again. Touchdown! Devontae Smith, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
So this drive spans 7 plays, and it was finished off by a touchdown from Devontae Smith. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
87 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
On first down, right back to Gibson. And this is going to be a Commander's first down as good running gets him to about the 44.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Gibson again. Gibson gets hit and he fumbles it. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's got Rome. And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry.
And it's not just having two hands on the ball. It's tucking it away. It's using your body to keep people shielded off. It's so many different things into taking care of it and having ball security. In that case, though, we didn't see it happen.
Jalen Hurts bringing the Eagles out for their next drive.
5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes, too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, the body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well. Some of them use power to get open. Some of them use those head fakes and subtle moves. Some of them just use pure speed. And the really good ones, when they're established, they know how to push off at the end of a route, too.
But first down, Hurts.
Throw right side, caught by Goddard, the tight end.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down.
Play action. Here's Hurts.
And he's got it. And he's brought down. One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Looking to throw. Sanders. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Bobby McCain.
And the Commanders are right back in this football game. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. The interception was a great starting point, but now they need points pretty quickly, down 2 scores.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Throwing his Wentz. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Just a gain of a couple there, and it's 2nd down.
Wentz going to throw. And he loses the football the second time. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
Hey, I'm all about defense forcing plays and getting takeaways. But an interception and 2 fumbles in their last 3 offensive possessions.
Time to readjust.
Yeah, you can't just give all the credit to the defense on that. They've got to look in the mirror and take a blame themselves and figure out how to not do it anymore.
He's got Smith here. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 23 yards, the final tally.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? At this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think he continued to do so.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. He couldn't escape the pressure, and they go backwards in a big way there on the sack.
There's a reason inside linebackers are often captains of a defense. They call the signals. They have the opportunity to affect the game in coverage, against the run, and, of course, on blitzes. Living in the best of both worlds here. Already has an interception. Now he gets to record a sack, too.
That is caught. It's the tight end, Goddard.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal.
From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wentz eluding the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This time it's 3rd and 3. To throw is Wentz. Got him in. It's Brown.
And he's going to have a Commander's 1st down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10.
Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Well, plays like that, Charles, no doubt, they're just going to continue to fuel this crowd.
And this defense is already playing well, but it also feeds on the energy of that crowd that you're talking about, and that takes them up to another level. Right now, they're playing really loose. They've got the lead, and what a nice stop they just made there behind the line of scrimmage.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wentz. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Give them 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up the 3rd down. Now Wentz. And that will be incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Now Wentz, gotta have this one. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They run with Sanders off the option. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Ready.
They're going on 4th down with Hurts. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Commanders come through with a 4th down stand. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes in.
He's got a man, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And he'll go underneath with this one to McKissick. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. 25 seconds to go. A must recover if they're going to have any chance. And the Eagles are going to recover. And that might be enough to put a bow on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. Hurts down to one knee, and that should just about do it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for the Eagles, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for Washington, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans.